Hello, Fire Tribe. Welcome to your weekly oracle messages. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. And if you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below, and as well my Facebook and Instagram page. So fire signs, I feel like in common and in general, all of you are kind of during this week trying to understand people's behavior. I feel like there's something here for a fire energy that it's really intrigued, or either intrigued or actually displeased with how their relationships have been kind of working. And I feel like some of you feel judged, or you are judging as well severely and harshly how people behave and how people should behave and how people are not behaving. So there's a lot of focus on wanting, you know, a different kind of scenario, a different kind of interaction with human contact. And I feel like some of you have some fire signs during this week. You may have some high standards that people are not able to high standards, or standards in general, that people are not being able to meet. And it's important for some of you to differentiate between what is someone or a relationship that it's toxic in your life, or a relationship that it's not conducive to growth, or a relationship that you just you know, can't have anymore in your life, to make that distinction, right, between people that are just different from you, and where there's still love and there's still care and there's still growth that can come out of it. But the way your temper, the way the fire energy is shown here as their temper, their code of values, their code of rules and norms, and how they see that is fit, right, for people to deal with each other, it just might be quite different from others, and this may be causing you some need to make this critical thinking. I feel like there's a lot of you that are being pushed during this week to look to your critical thinking, your discernment, you know, to separate things, to separate what is from what is not. Some of you feel though that people don't understand you. Some of you feel like you're just alone in this place of existence that is just your bubble, and you can't find, or you wish you could find someone to kind of tag along with you, to find that connection, right, that intimacy in that same place. But what I feel like some of you want this, you know, intimacy in a place, or this similarity, let's say the similarity in a place that belongs to your own nature. It belongs to you. It's something that may just come with you. It's something that it may just be yours. And it may be very hard to find a soul out there that is exactly as you are, or that it fits in every single list of demands of what you want someone to kind of meet. And so I feel like as well, some of you are trying to control situations that are out of your reach. I feel like some of you want to, or you want, either you want to tell someone how to be, and this is creating, of course, disagreements in your personal sphere, Either you are telling someone how to be. There seems to be this blowout. I feel like some of you could have this blowout of truth kind of coming out, and it's like you are expressing, either you are expressing how you want someone to be and how they should behave, and there's this real tight kind of there are tight beliefs that some of you, in which some of you are being tested. Some of you have very, I don't want to say closed minds, but some of you are dealing with something that it's a little bit challenging, and maybe, you know, meant to push you to confront where you might be a little bit too rigid, too inflexible, too judgmental, or just too controlling over others. I feel like some of you are wanting to control other people's minds or control situations in ways that most likely are just going to drift relationships further. But it could also be that you are feeling controlled and you are feeling that others are, of course, doing this to you. And in general, I feel like fire signs during this week may need to take measures and take some decisions that are based on their truth, the truth of how they see life, the truth of how they see their reality, respecting and honoring that maybe this is just your way of seeing things. It's not the absolute truth. And what I'm feeling is like some of you have this certainties. You're filled with certainties, fire signs during this week. You're filled with certainties, and you may be tested with, you know, learning that maybe there's plenty of truths out there. There's plenty of options. There's plenty of theories. And absolute truth, it remains a mystery. It remains a big question. We don't really know what is absolutely true in this life. We just make an evaluation and we make our judgment based on our subjective experiences. And some of you are kind of learning something that touches in these topics, and definitely that challenges your mind. It challenges your ability to see beyond the self and to see beyond your critical evaluation. Some of you maybe feel like during this week you really need to hold off and control yourselves, because if you don't, you're just going to lash out and say things that might be hurtful. I feel like some of you may say things that are hurtful, or others may say things that are hurtful to you. Out of all the fire signs, actually, I feel like the one that it's the sign that it will maybe have an energy that it's more fluid and more loving and more understanding, more into comprehending the bigger scale of everything that they're going through. It's Aries. Aries energy here have an opportunity to actually free themselves from their own selves. And so by being able to, it's like an energy of an egg cracking, right? There's this egg cracking, and finally there's something like a new life coming out of that allows expansion, opportunity, freedom. Everything is new, fresh, and you know, with this available element of it's like a childlike spirit or adventurous, you know. I feel like some of you are leaving or about to leave this week. You're about to take this week in a more healthier mindset. I feel like if some of you have been dealing with pressure and judgment and feeling depressed, this week can really lift up your humor. There's a sense of some Aries being capable of reaching a more optimistic kind of view about lives and about their life, and in specific about love, because you do have this card that it's going with the flow, right? Flowing in the current of love, flowing in the current of how you feel instead of controlling it. And through that flow, you find this other beautiful card, which is playfulness. So the more you free yourself from anything that your mind is kind of wired to make you believe, you know, to make you believe in something that deep down you know it's not real, or deep down you know it's not who you are, or it's not really how you want to live. I feel like the more you let loose, you dance, you play, you laugh, all of those things are quite therapeutic for Aries during this time. Some of you are called to just explore. Explore love. There's something about love, feelings, sensations, allowing yourself to find joy. You know, when you allow your feelings to take over, there's some emotional excitement for Aries, something that will make them feel ready, or you know, free as a bird, but a bird that most likely is quite in love, or just filled with feelings that provide you know, well-being and a good mood. I feel like your mood is considerably high in spirits during this week. And playfulness, there's something playful about the experiences some of you may encounter, but all of this is kind of it's like shaking up your body and your spirit, shaking up where your mind is not like a robot controlling you with its voice of doom or fear or failure, and just allowing yourself to feel great as some of you want to feel. For Leos, control is an issue. I feel like some of you are really tight on something. It's like controlling something so much that the more you control it, the more difficult it becomes to reach that same place of freedom, or that same place of I feel like some of you want to reach a place where you feel like your life is as well creative, free, loving, passionate, interesting. Some of you feel bored with how your life is, but still you're controlling it. You're controlling change. You don't want to change, or you are afraid to it's like paint your life with the colors of your soul. Some of you are so in your minds, so rigid in your minds, that you're not allowing happiness. You're not giving happiness a chance. You're not giving creativity a chance. You're not giving love a chance. Even for Leos that are in good relationships and in relationships that are, you know, good for them, I feel like your attitude, your behavior is causing some delays in the happiness that you could truly have. I feel like some Leos could have it all. There's this real sense of they could have it all if they would only allow themselves to be free from this control. This is your main energy for the week, Leos. This is control. This is really tight energy of someone who is obsessed in having their lives, their reality, their relationships exactly as they state. And when something is out of the context from what they impose, this can really bring this can really bring hindrance to your life, because it pushes you further and further from actually achieving what you want. I feel like some of you are delaying your own happiness through not wanting to give in. I feel like some of you it's just about not wanting to give in to something that it's causing you fear, or it's causing you, you know, challenging you in being more open-minded, as I said, in being less critical, or less you know, less sure that you have all the answers. I feel like you feel like you are the one that knows how things should be, but maybe you could be surprised with finding out that the other's perspective, or the perspective that change could bring, could also quite resonate with your inner self if you just would allow that to touch your inner self. I feel like Leos are needing some work with the breath, some work with meditation, some work with tools that would allow you to gradually decompress and let loose and let go of your own need to do things in ways that are not giving you any return, and just pushing you to a point of feeling alone or feeling offended. I feel like some of you may feel offended this week, or you may feel that you're growing colder. I feel like some of you, there's this gray energy about you during this time that it's not meant for you. It's like something is grayish and becoming dull. I feel like some of you feel as well, it could be that you feel that others are doing this to you. You could always go both ways. But I'm feeling like there's a real need change to understand control, and to understand what kind of rigid places in you are keeping you from happiness, are keeping you from establishing in life and attracting to your life and manifesting in your life things you truly want. I feel like some Leos may feel like they are further and further and further and further away from their dreams, from their ambitions. And so they feel like things are just away. Everything is like far. There can be a sense of loneliness as well, but at the same time delaying the pursuit of their happiness, delaying what could actually bring them fruitful results. Some of you can, get angry. I feel like some Leos can get angry during this time easily, or this week, when, as I said, something goes wrong in the plans, and you can be exactly tested with this, is having, a plan designed, having a certain, expectation of how things are going to be. And then when something changes in the plans, you're being, and you have this tendency to have a reaction, for some of you, that can be, the sign that you need to understand how you're handling change, how you're handling, the unpredictable element in life. And the more you control it, the more unpredictable it will become, because you're always going to attract to your experiences, to your field of experiences, what you most resist. So if you resist change and allowance and breath and flow, you're going to attract more instability and circumstances that feel, completely out of spin with how you want your universe kind of. I feel like some of you have this image of what your universe, your perfect universe, should be, but you're kind of given into this one. You're giving into a universe that may not bring you so much happiness as the one you envision, because in this you feel like you have control, and in that one where you would be more, happier maybe, or just feel better in terms of the self, you don't allow yourself to go there, because there's something in you that fears the unknown. And so I feel like some of you basically are saddling with a position you have that may bring you a control position, but it's empty. There's something empty about it that you're meant to kind of address. For Sagittarius, for Sagittarius, this can be a week where, as I said in the beginning, human behavior is unfocused. And for you, I feel like it's about you, you know, having situations during this time where people's masks, there's masks falling, and you are seeing things and understanding who someone is, who someone truly is, or what lies beneath the circumstance that, you know, you were not picturing initially, that may bring some questions about the truth and honesty of dealings you are involved with. I feel like this, for some of you, this is about dealings. This is about, you know, contracts and partnerships that all along had underlying motivations that you were not picturing. Others of you, it's about you understanding that someone has been lying to you, or someone just has been manipulating you in a certain way. Some of you, it's about you understanding a mask as well that you may be wearing, and or you may be called to let go of a mask of behavior that may be about manipulation, self-interest, or just, you know, like this deceitful kind of trait, because you're being asked to let go of this mask in order to understand and reach a path of enlightenment. I feel like some of you are holding on to an old identity, and it's time to shed the skin. I feel like some of you are being called to shed the skin and become someone else, become someone more enlightened, as I said, or more available. I feel like some Sagittarius are not really emotionally available, and it's time to understand why. I feel like you're being called during this week to understand why emotions may be complex, or relationships in general may be as complex as they tend to be in your life. I feel like some of you are used too much to this connotation, relationships and love equals games. You know, there's a lack of trust, or a certain lack of heart as well in the way you connect and others are connecting with you, because there's something, which is this, there's something keeping, right, the love in and the love out. There's this filter that it's not meant to be there, that it's avoiding truthful establishment of relationships to happen in ways where people are just relating with each other because they want to, not because they expect something out of it. I feel like some of you have people that want to gain from you, that want to gain from what you have to offer to them, and as well you are doing this to others. You are wanting to be with people, or to be with in certain situations, because you are calculating what you are going to gain out of it. Some of you this week, masks and lies and dishonesty and tactics that may be just, you know, wrong in terms of putting you in a place where you're just creating this web of unhappiness. I feel like some of you you feel like you need to wear this mask, because if you don't, you're just going to be even more exposed, and people are going to use you and abuse you even more. If they already do it with a mask, imagine what they could do without it. I feel like you're being tested in integrity. You're being tested in being clean, and clean in your dealings, clean in your intentions, clean in the words you choose to use, so that you can attract to your life as well people that are the same to you. Others of you, you're questioning why you know, relationships are more about politics than love. There's something that is like politics energy. So there's empty promises that some of you maybe doing, or others to you. Be careful in trusting blindly with people that you don't really know, or you don't really have reasons to trust. Be careful in what you allow them, what you give them, and what you allow, you know, yourself to believe they can as well give to you. I feel like there's disappointments with human relationships in general due to the fact that both ways there might be something there that it's not meant to be. Be careful with your dealings, be careful with your intentions, because I feel like if you have been lying in a situation for some time, this week something may come out of it that you're not prepared to. Or if someone has been lying to you, you may just realize this during this time as well. The real, some of you are going to see the rotten. Some of you are not going to really like what this is about. It's like seeing something that is rotten. Something that you believed maybe would have some type of love and light there, some type of promise, and you're seeing that there's no promise there, or that what you were seeing about it was just a trick or an illusion, or what someone sold you to believe. There's this thing about selling love, selling dreams, selling the soul in order to gain something, and the gain out of love, the gain out of relationships should be simply love itself. So I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see each other soon.